5 types of education I got that changed my life and the way I think. And I highly recommend that you get these 5 types of education I'm about to mention in this video, right? The fifth one is the most important. So stick around and you will find out. Now, the first type of education I highly recommend that you get for yourself is what I call the personal education. You must know yourself. You must know your likes. You must know your dislikes. And you must know your triggers. Okay? If you know your triggers, you will be always cautious of what it is so that your enemies cannot use your triggers against you. Know thyself. Very important. Now, the second type of education I got that made my life better, and I highly recommend that you get, is what I call the academic education. Academic education is always important. You must know how to sign deals. You must know how to read and write. You must know how to, when you're given a particular contract to sign, you run through it, read through it, know what the contract says before you actually sign it. If you don't have an academic education, you won't be able to do these things. So, for the fact that you grew up and you find out that your parents may have not been able to give you an academic education, I recommend that you get one for yourself because it will do you a lot of good. Get one for yourself. Okay, that's academic education. Now, the third type of education I highly recommend that you get for yourself is what I call the marketplace education. A lot of people have academic education, but they don't have the marketplace education. They don't understand how business works. They don't understand what the business entails. Okay, whatever business you are into as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a CEO, whatever it is, as a manufacturer, know your marketplace education. That explains exactly why someone who has no academic education still becomes a billionaire. The education they have, they may not have academic education, but they have the marketplace education. They understand the business they are in and they understand how it works. That's why they were able to amass a huge amount of money in the place that they are. So that was number three. Now, the number four type of education that I got, which made me better, and I recommend that you have to get for yourself, is what I call the spiritual education. It is very important. Spiritual education helps you to understand that anything that happens in the spirit, in the physical, before it happens in the physical, it has already happened in the spirit, right? Inside your mind is a spirit on its own. So before anything happens in real life, it first of all starts happening in the mind. Like the internet and the phone that you're using to watch me right now, someone thought about it and put that thought to work before that thought becomes physical, and you're holding it in your hand right now watching me. So before anything happens in the physical, it first happens in the spiritual. And I recommend that you get a spiritual education for yourself. Know how the spirit works so that you can be able to use it for yourself so that it will be better for you. Now, that was the fourth one. Now, the fifth and most important type of education that you will get, you must have to get. And I recommend that even if you don't give your children or the other ones, make sure you teach your children this one, right? The fifth and the most important type of education is what I call the financial education. Financial education. A lot of people don't know how to handle money. A lot of people have zero financial brain. And for someone who has a zero financial brain, even if you give them $10,000 today, their brain will not work until that $10,000 finishes in their hands. For example, if someone who has 1 million naira financial brain and you give them 10 million, right? Their brain will never work until that 10 million becomes 1 million. That's when their brain will start working. But for someone who has financial education and whose financial brain is at 10 million naira, and you give them 1 million, it's only a matter of time before that 1 million becomes 10 million. This is how important financial education is. And financial education is the reason why you see millionaires and billionaires, when they die, when they leave this world, their children may not be able to handle their business. 90% of the time, that's how it happens. What happens next is that the children will start selling off the businesses, the houses, the lands, the vehicles, the cars, everything. And then the children will find themselves starting from square zero. Whereas their father made a lot of money for them. So financial education is what those children lacked that made them to squander everything their father kept for them.